was God during slavery? How come I could never get an answer from you fanatics? Because I think I made this video about maybe 2 or 3 times, and I have not ever got an answer from these hardcore religious fanatics that love to swarm into my comments like these. Where was God during slavery? Why can't anybody answer me? Like, I mean, where was he at? Was he on PTO?
Shalom. This brother Samak. Before I do anything, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the others, a great millstone to do real well. Peace and salutations to the whole elect that are scattered abroad. With that, this is brother Samak coming at you with another lesson. Lord will, this is edifying. So, yeah, our people are, man, don't realize that us going through these things was just a part of the curses, and these things happened to us was it was a reason behind it, because we went off. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? In verse 15, it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So here it is, we disobeyed the Lord countless and countless of times, to where we were on low, we were brought into captivity after captivity after captivity, man. Countless of times we've been done this, but honestly, it's all for a reason though. Soon enough, we're gonna have our chance to rule and be on top, you know. And seeing how things are now, we're getting closer and closer. Seeing the signs, man, you know. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt thou thy basket. No, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flock of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou goest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out." And you can see that too when it comes to us being in these other countries. You know, they just look at us with disdain, you know. So these other nations see that, and again, it all goes back to the curses. So let's keep going down. Salakia, let me see. This is verse 65. It says, matter of fact, verse 64, it says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other." And you see that now. You got Jake, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're all scattered, man. We're still scattered to this day. Okay? That's why it says to go out and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit. The nations, because we were among those nations. The fact that we were going to these cities That's we were going to these towns and to these places, not to just go and just talk to anybody, but no, talk to the people of the Lord, the the Lord's people, man. And that's you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because you were scattered among these people, these the other people, to where you started calling your name, calling yourselves of those people. You called your name, you called yourselves Greeks, because mind you, at the time, it was not it was prohibited, I should say, for you to even speak Greek and I mean speak Greek, call yourself Hebrew or a Jew. Okay, and I'm gonna prove that, but keep it going. It says, "And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." And you see that wood and stone, man. We serve these other gods, right? There's a god for literally every single day, and Jake is not realizing it. And here it is, the wood and stone. Our people going into that Muslim stuff, and they go not realizing that these Muslim people, which is a Ishmael religion or Ishmaelite religion, they go to Mecca to go to worship this cobblestone, man. Okay, putting your hand on it and all this crap, man. That's worshiping, man. So it says, "And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shalt thou shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes, sorrow of mind." And yeah, man, we have never gotten a break. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have never gotten a break. You see that, man. The fact that everybody's against us, man, just messing us up to where even our own people are against us. You know? So at the end of the day, our people are just screwed. It's a lot, man. Just we end up killing each other and all this stuff like that, man. So it's just and that's part of the curses, because scriptures say that that thy eye will be evil towards thy. Let me get that real quick. It's actually I forget where. Shalakia. Oop, Shalakia. Dang, I should probably look at it. Oh, here we go. Well, it's not this, but this is a good one too. It says, verse 37. This is what we used to bring out a lot. Verse 37. It says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." And you see that now. The bywords, man, thinking that you're black, a nigga, spick, you know. These things, the names is these curses only fit us, man. No other nation does this fit but us, man. And no one can tell us different, because there's no way that this fits anybody else, man. Mhm. Here we go. It says, verse 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. See? It says, and toward her young. Oh, let me read out. Okay. Here we go. Verse 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. And you see that now, man. We're killing each other, you know. It's sad, man, that we have to look at each other as an enemy, you know. It says, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. See, did that not happen? You know, the so-called black man leaving the homes. That happened, man, and that happened to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. I'll say this, you know, knowing about the Jim Crow law and everything like that, separation and the redlining and everything going up to where I'm sure back then it was just hard for a man to even enjoy the fruits of his labor, and then the wife nagging. It's just a lot, man. So I can see why, you know, the black man, the so-called black man, did what he did. But we're all messed up in a hole, man. And the only way we're gonna get fixed or get back to the way it was is once this devil's out of power, man, and then we're put back in power. Okay. But yeah. So the reason why we were in this predicament, slavery and everything on and up to now, is because it was a punishment, man. We disobeyed the Lord, and now the Lord's calling us back, you know. That's a beautiful thing. But the thing is, our people don't even realize what's going on, man. They don't even know the Lord. They don't want to know the Lord, you know. The scriptures say neither do they consider. So yeah, man, it's just messed up. But I was gonna get this to prove as far as it was illegal or it was forbidden to be called a Jew. Let me get that real quick. Okay, come. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6. In verse 6, it says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath, to keep Sabbath days, or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. See? So at that time, this is during the Maccabean period, Alexander the Greek, okay, we had to take on the customs of the heathen. So learning of their ways, and yeah, that's why we became Greeks. We became these things, and we started talking in that language and calling each other Greek, and we became Gentiles. That's what people don't understand, you know? So just like now we call ourselves American. We speak English, you know? The fact that we're celebrating these pagan holidays, man, the Christmas, the Thanksgiving, Halloween, all these holidays that represent our just the different gods, man. And the majority of you, Jake, are blinded and still blindly or ignorantly just doing these things, man. Right? So real quick, this is Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens," see, going into strangers, going into Gentiles, right? Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. And that shows too that when it says in the Old Testament about the strangers, and if you look up the word stranger, that word is either Nakar or Gar, and Gar goes back to the word Gershom, which means Israelite born in a foreign land. Okay, so that being said, if you look it up, it says someone inheriting or lacking inherited rights, roughly paraphrasing, because again, the commonwealth of Israel, you are aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. It says, and strangers from the covenants of promise. And who was the covenant given to? It wasn't given to these other heathen. The covenant was given to the Israelites. Okay. It says, right, as Hebrews 8:8. So it says, and that's in Jeremiah as well. But it says, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world. And that's us now, man. Especially, I'll say we got Yahweh Bashim Yahushai now. But thing is, majority of our people don't even know Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. They don't even know the Lord, man. Nor do they want to know. So it's like, and you see this guy, and honestly, he's a Mo anyway. He plays for the other team. You can just tell. But the fact that you're mocking the Lord, guess what? These people got another thing coming when it comes to the Lord, man. They're gonna get theirs, man, and we're gonna laugh best, man. So all in all, we're going through this for a reason, But I don't want to make this too long. So with that, I pray that you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad. And with that, I say, Shalom.